Good morning, everybody. 10 a.m. on Wednesday, time for our weekly Facebook training. So let me share my screen and let's get going straight away. Right, so what we're going to be looking at today is planning ahead. Just let the slide come up. Planning ahead, a month of Facebook in 20 minutes. So we're going to focus on content calendars, repurposing content, and different tools you can use, which we have touched on before, but just a little reminder. So basically, it's about scheduling in order to stay consistent and regular and decrease as much stress as possible in our life. Let's get going. Are you drowning in daily posting? So if you're trying to post regularly and you haven't got a plan or some sort of scheduling tool available, it becomes a completely reactive process. And of course, reactive posting will lead to stress because you're thinking, what can I post? I haven't posted for a while, and you start to panic and you just post any old thing, or even worse, you don't end up posting at all. So looking at creating a schedule, a calendar, takes this problem away. You can do it once a month and then you relax for the rest of the month. Now, the cool thing with the retail stores is that you are getting daily posts on your page anyway from the main Universal Paints page. So because you're getting those posts anyway, you don't need to post every day. So I would suggest that in order to make your page more relevant to your locality, to make your page more relevant to your store, that you post at least once a week. So what does this mean? This means that you only need to create 4 posts in a month. I would say at least 4 posts in a month. Okay, so that's pretty easy to schedule. It will probably take you at the very most half an hour, and then there your post's done for the whole month. You don't need to reactive post. You don't need to come to a Thursday during the week and go, oh my Lord, I haven't posted this week, because you've already pre-planned it and done the post already. So the important thing in scheduling is that there is consistency. As I've written here, consistency is key, but time is limited. Because we're struggling with time, and all of us are, and I know that store owners have even more hassles in this because you've got customers coming in and you've got all sorts of things planned. Time becomes a huge issue. But if you've already pre-planned the posts, pre-scheduled the posts, it takes that stress away and you remain consistent. I would suggest that you choose a day each week. So let's say maybe you decide midweek, Wednesday, and you make sure that you have a post every Wednesday. That's just a suggestion. It's not gospel. It just is easier for planning. The exception to that would be if you have some sort of event at your store or something that you're wanting to push, some sort of date or something, then obviously you wouldn't stick to the weekly Wednesday or whatever day you choose, but you would do it according to relevance. So that's just a suggestion, but the main thing is consistency, that at least once a week you're posting something that is relevant to your area, to your store, and if you can pre-plan that and pre-schedule it, it takes all the stress out of it. Planning saves your sanity. Honestly, when we're trying to do it on the run, we just don't have the same sort of consistency, the same professionalism, the same brainstorming ideas, because we're doing it on the run. Excuse me, we're doing it in a hurry. Whereas if you take half an hour out once a month and you schedule for the whole month, it's taking far less time. You're more organized, you're more focused, and you're definitely going to be a winner in that regard. So that's the main thing about stopping the stress. There we go. Right, what we're looking at, our Facebook Success Roadmap, are content calendars, repurposing content, and scheduling tools. So those are the things that we're going to be looking. Sorry, there's a fly buzzing around. Those are the things that we are going to be looking at in the next couple of slides. What is a content calendar? So we have actually looked at this previously, and you can go back and have a look at scheduling posts, where I think I went into quite a lot of detail. So today is more of an overview. It's more of an encouragement to say, plan your posts up front. Get your posts organized once a month for the whole month. And really, it's not a big deal if you're only doing it once a week. Of course, you can do it more than once a week. That is entirely up to you. But a content calendar basically is a schedule for your Facebook post. It's a calendar that organizes all your content by date and by time. And the benefit of it is that it ensures consistent posting, as we've already discussed. So I've got two pictures here of content calendars. This one with the blue is straight from Meta Business Suite. So each of you have access to this as long as you've already asked for admin on your page. Then you have access to this content calendar on Meta Business Suite. So it's on your Facebook business page in the back end, and you have access to that. And in the previous training, I showed you exactly how to come in and to schedule posts in this calendar. It's completely free. It's pretty user-friendly. It will post to both your, if you have an Instagram account, you can choose to post to both your Facebook and your Instagram pages. You can choose the time you want to post. You can bring in pictures. You can bring in videos. You can bring in links if you really, really want to. Links aren't the greatest things to post on Facebook because Facebook doesn't like you going out of Facebook. So we already do links to the main Facebook, to the main Universal Paints website. So I would suggest that when you do your posting, you don't focus on links, but you focus on photos, pictures, and videos that are relevant to your store, to your area. And once again, we've done a lot of training on that in the past. So a content calendar, you've got a freebie one here in Meta Business Suite, and you can see there it's called Planner. It's under Settings. Once you go into the Meta Business Suite, of course, if you want to remember how to do it, go back and find the training on that we have already done. The picture on the right here is a program that we use at Green Beetle Branding to help to do all our scheduling for the main Universal page. So you will receive an email weekly that shows you week by week the posts that have been planned. So these are the posts that are planned for this week. You can see these two have already gone. I took the snapshot yesterday. So that would have been yesterday, the 15th, today. And then these are all the posts that have been planned. So this particular scheduling tool is a fantastic tool. It's called Promo Republic. We have access to it. We can sell it to you as well. It has a great lot of tools that you can use. So for instance, if any of you know Canva for creating posts, creating visuals, that type of thing. And Promo Republic that we use here incorporates Canva and a Canva-like tool. It gives you lots of ideas for content, gives you a lot of visual ideas. It's a fantastic tool. It can also pull in the fonts for Universal Paint and the Universal Paint colors that you can use as well. So if you have more than one store, this is a fantastic tool because you can pull in each store. You can then post and duplicate your post to be relevant to the particular store at hand. You can also post to Facebook and to Instagram, and you can make slight changes on this particular scheduling tool as well. It's very, very affordable. If you are interested in it, please get hold of Natalie, and she can arrange a demo with me, and we can take it further from there. But it's just an idea. There's plenty of different content calendars out there, and we'll chat a little bit about those later. The main thing we're looking at is some sort of tool to use to schedule your posts. If you've only got one store and one Facebook page, this Meta free one is the perfect tool to use. As I said, it does Facebook and Instagram. Right, so that is the content calendar. Let's go on to the next slide. So what are the benefits of a content calendar? And it's nice to see you here. So the benefits are over here, time savings.
And we're going to talk about
that. So the benefits are time savings, as we have spoken about already. You can spend half an hour in the last week of a month to schedule all your posts for the following month. It's much quicker to do it that way than each time you're going to do a post, suddenly try and do it. You'll probably spend half an hour doing that because you're trying to come up with an idea, da-da-da-da-da. Whereas, I have this fly that's driving me crazy. Whereas when you set some time aside and you're more focused, you will save a lot more time. You will do all 4 posts for the month, 1 for each week, in probably the same amount of time that you would do when you're just doing it on the run for 1 post. The other benefit of a content calendar is that it creates consistency. When you're using a content calendar, you are ensuring that every week there is at least 1 post on your page that is relevant to your store, relevant to your area. So it's consistent. Fortunately, your pages do have a consistency because you're getting the posts from the main page, but we always encourage you to try and put in some posts that are relevant to your store and your area, and that's the consistency that we're trying to encourage you to do here. Also, when you've got a content calendar and you're sitting in a focus time, you can be a little bit more strategic. You can have a look and say, right, are there any events this coming month? Is there any product I want to push this coming month? Are there any birthdays, staff birthdays in this month? You can have a look at your strategy, at the things you want to push, and it's just more relaxed because you're doing it in a focused manner in one sitting. And then all of these things, the time savings, the consistency, the strategic content, all helps to reduce your stress. Honestly, ask me, I do a number of pages, social media, and when you're trying to do it like for me, because I'm doing a lot, even if I'm just trying to do it week by week, it's very, very stressful. Whereas if I create the content for the next month, all in 1 or 2 sittings, it's far less stressful. And then if there are any changes, that's quick and easy for me to go and make that change. But the reduced stress in our rushed society today, when we never have time to suddenly remember, I didn't do a post. Now it's just an extra little stress that adds to all the other little stresses in your life. Take it from me. Rather schedule upfront you relax for the month, end of the month, you then schedule again for the following month. Way, way easier. Right, when you're looking at creating your calendar, here are a few points to consider. Choose your posting frequency. So I've spoken a lot about this already. My suggestion is that you do at least one post per week that's relevant to your store and your locality. And I don't think that's asking too much. It's 4 posts in a month, and if you do, like we said, you choose your time to sit down and schedule everything. It's maybe half an hour, at the very most 45 minutes to do that, especially as you practice it and you get better and better at it. So you choose what posting frequency will work for you. If you can manage 2 posts a week, even better. But I think if you at least do one post per week for your store that is localized, that is something that it's not as generic as the posts that we're putting on about universal paints. You're doing universal paints, your store. It's just much more powerful. So do at least 1 a week. That's my suggestion. If you can do more than 1 a week, even better. You choose your posting frequency. Always remember to identify any key dates and events. Usually if there's public holidays and things, the main page will put a post on for that, so you don't have to worry too much about that, unless you want to personalize it and do something yourself. By all means, go ahead. But do you have any events in your area or in your store even? Do you have anything that you want to promote or push? Identify those when you create your calendar. Then brainstorm content themes. A good idea is to have a theme for the month. Like maybe you want to choose a color palette, maybe you want to choose a decor theme, maybe you want to choose DIY, some sort of DIY project, maybe you want to encourage some sort of user-generated content. We've spoken about user-generated content a lot when we've spoken about post ideas, so you can always go back and look at that, but it's basically where you're trying to get content from your customers and clients and even your staff. All right, so a great idea for each month is, do you want to have some sort of theme? You don't have to do it like that. It's just an added suggestion. It's an idea. And then you can fill in your calendar with your post ideas. All right, so that's just the absolute basics of creating your calendar. As I showed you before, this is a close-up of the calendar that we use. So this was this week's calendar. It would have probably been sent to you already. So when I create, you can see I write little notes of the different things that I want to do, use the color chat, use a back to site. So obviously those notes are not seen on Facebook. What is seen on Facebook is the actual post that we've got here. So I've done this for the week. I actually do these for the month, but it's just an example of creating content. What I try and do is a little bit of variation. So here we've got a public holiday. It's Easter, so we're looking at painting Easter eggs to try and bring some sort of decor into it. Here's a testimonial. Great if you want testimonials for your store, or if somebody comes in. I tell you what would be a brilliant thing is if a customer raves to you and you say to them, hey, do you mind if I do a 30-second interview, a 30-second video of you saying exactly what you've just said to me now? That would be such an awesome post to do. Testimonials, word of mouth, always the best form of marketing. Here we've got a back to site, so it's product and price. Here's something from the blog. And I'm going to chat a little bit about this later with repurposing. This one is one of those, you get like gardening day. Well, this one is gardening day. but you get all those funny days throughout the year. People like those kind of things. This was a video about universal paint. So just an idea of creating content. Just an example to show you how I've done it. Now let's take a look at repurposing content. So what does that mean? Repurposing content is when you have some sort of content already and now you repurpose it for different platforms. So it helps you to get more mileage from your content. So you can use one form of content over and over and over again in different platforms. If it's evergreen content, even better, because you can use it again like 3 months down the line. People do not remember what you posted today. They'll see it, they're scrolling through social media so fast, they're scrolling through, they'll see it and think, oh, that's great. 3 months later, they've forgotten about it. So if it pops up again, cool. So you can get more mileage from your content. Also, when you're using the same content on different platforms, so Facebook, Instagram, you're reaching different audiences. Even with platforms, you can use the same content for a post, for a reel, and for a story. You just repurpose it. Also, you're saving time on content creation. So let's look a little bit deeper at that. A great example is to use, we look at a blog post and then to create a Facebook post from that. Now, there's one way of doing it where you just put the link in, but remember I said to you, we're already putting links in, so I don't recommend that you do that as well. Links are the worst performing posts on Facebook. The only links that we ever put in are links to the website because we want to drive traffic to the website. But I'm suggesting you don't put links in because we're already doing that on the main page, which comes onto your page. But I'm going to show you in the next slide how you can use this blog post to Facebook post because it's a great way to repurpose content and to save you time. You can also use a video snippet that you've maybe created for a reel and then post it onto a story. That is so simple. You don't even have to change anything. You just post it to the story as well. And often quotes are, people love quotes. So you can use a quote and just find a nice fancy image to put that quote on. Those still work well. What they do is they create engagement. And remember what we've spoken about so often is that when you've got engagement, those people will see more of your posts. Their friends may see those posts. So engagement is fantastic. And that's really the only reason we would use a quote or one of those like Garden Day, things like that. It's for engagement. Doing all of these things, you're turning one post into many. Let's just dig a little bit deeper. So this is a blog post straight off the Universal Paints website, off the color chat. All right, it's how to paint straight lines, tips, precision is key. So this was the picture. You can even create a snapshot of this picture if you want to, and you can use that for the post. From this one blog post, you can create at least 5 posts. You could create all your posts for the month if you wanted to. All right, because you can take the first paragraph, which is about choosing your colors wisely and which wall should you paint first. And just reading through this paragraph, you can rephrase that. You can even use ChatGPT to rephrase it. And you can use this picture, or you can use your own pictures, whatever you want. And there's one post. All right. And then, I don't know why I've cut this off. Sorry, apologies for that. But using creating crisp lines where walls meet. So that's already a second post. You could look at that. And then there's different methods of how to create these crisp lines. So sorry, maybe that little intro won't be one post, but you can use this painter's tape method. That can be one post. This freehand technique, that can be one post. And the rest of the article will probably give you more posts as well. So you can go and look at the color chat. You can look at the tips that are on there, the interesting things that are on there, and you can create more than one Facebook post out of that blog post. You can be creative, you can have a lot of fun, but there's all the content in the world there that you can use. You're free to use. Right, the last thing we're going to look at is just how we can use some time-saving tools to do our scheduling. So Canva is a fantastic tool. There's a free version of it and there's a paid version of it. The paid version is awesome. It's not very, very expensive. And on the paid version, you can save your fonts and your colors, and like you create like a little brand kit. And you've got that. And then you can create on Canva, you can create posts, you can create reels, you can create Instagram, you can create Facebook, you can create so much. It's a brilliant, pretty user-friendly tool to use. And then, of course, there's the Meta Business Suite, which I showed you earlier, where you can go in and you can use the planner. Obviously, you will have to create your visuals and things beforehand to pull into the planner. But there's so many more. There's Buffer, there's Hootsuite, there's free versions and paid versions. And then don't forget about Promo Republic, which I told you about. It's the tool that we use. We have an option to resell it at a really, really good price. So if you've got more than one store, I'd love to do a demo for you and show you how it works. And if you're interested, you could use it. Saves a lot of time. It's also got a calendar in it. It's got a Canva type tool in it. It's got post ideas. It's got also your own little brand kit. It's a fantastic tool. I did show you a little picture of it twice already in this video. So if you're interested in knowing more about Promo Republic, if you've got more than one store and you want to do your weekly posts, perfect way for you to do it. You don't have to use that. You can go to Buffer, Hootsuite, all of those. But yeah, we would love to demo the Promo Republic for you. So that's today. All about planning ahead, all about scheduling your posts. Or honestly, we're just trying to encourage you, try and do at least one local post a week, and just get your store known in your area. Get yourself known. It's great for brand awareness, and honestly, you can really get known in your area. Just with a little planning, you can do it in a stress-free manner. Thank you, everybody. I hope this has been helpful to you, and I will see you again next week. Cheerio.